Ready. Play.
So yeah, I mean, mostly it was just fresh off of watching the Sabalenka Kostyuk second, beating in a row in a round of 16. Third tiebreak, won again by Sabalenka. Incredible second set, 94 minutes, really high quality. Kostyuk finally converted on like her 13th or 14th breakpoint chance, and she was still like fighting an uphill battle, even though she served for the second set. So that was an incredible contrast every time they both face. But once again, it just kind of shows that Sabalenka right now in the really big pressure situations and just generally the last 9 or 10 months is the best player in the world. So she showed that again, and now she plays Zheng Qinwen, who she leads 6-0 in the head-to-head. Zheng is back in form. Watched a little bit of the end of the first set, start of the second against Bianca, and so I guess that's where we're headed there. More chalk on the WTA top half of the draw with Andreeva and Coco too.
Yeah, I mean, Sabalenka right now just kind of finds a way, regardless of what's happening. Whether it's Kenin or Kostyuk pushing her for the second week in a row. Obviously, Marta, we talked about this earlier in the week that she was kind of unlucky with the seeding and the fact that it was done using the rankings pre-Madrid, not pre-Rome. But in a way, I mean, she still kind of fulfilled, I suppose, her destiny in this event. She reached the Sabalenka fourth round, just wasn't able to do much there. Of course, despite coming pretty close in the second set. And indeed, Sabalenka against Zheng right now. And whereas I'd say that Sabalenka probably isn't the strongest in like Rome, Roland Garros, these aren't the events where I'm thinking, oh yeah, she's gonna dominate here. I kind of think it doesn't really change much with Qinwen Zheng. This matchup has just been horrible for Qinwen. Obviously, Aryna hitting such a big ball of both wings. She's on the back foot a lot more than she usually likes. I have to give Qinwen credit though. I mean, I didn't really realize that like she actually has reached 3 WTA 1000 quarterfinals this season already. Like back to back Indian Wells, Miami. It's so easy to forget that. Like her entire season before this week is just so forgettable when I think about it. And then I look at the results and they actually aren't that bad. It's maybe just like Australia that's making you think that. But nonetheless, I mean, I don't think Rome actually helps her that much here. She almost beat Aryna, I guess, in Wuhan last year, at least was pretty competitive. I'd expect this one to be a little easier.
Yeah, compared to Wuhan, I definitely expect it to be easier. I have to say Sabalenka looks a lot more complete, even 1 year later on these slower courts than she did the year before. Because I remember last year she was kind of scraping by Svitolina, and it was like a real tussle. And she was coming off of the run in Madrid, losing that final to Iga, and we kind of weren't sure whether she was going to be able to put it back to back weeks together. Whereas now you feel like, wow, she has a real chance to maybe even run the table. But yeah, Zhang, like three quarterfinals this year. Her season feels underwhelming also because you look at the race and she was outside the top 30 before this week, and I think it was like a 9-7 record on the year. But like that stretch, Indian Wells, Miami, Charleston, she didn't play bad at all. Just ran into Iga, Aryna, and lost a little earlier in Charleston. But now she's been playing well this week. I still just think Sabalenka, with just how complete she's playing right now, and just with Qinwen, yeah, the clay gives her a little bit more time. She's definitely in a few more rallies, but I just don't think against Aryna with the kind of power tennis she's playing right now and the more options in her game compared to a year ago. I just don't see it being that close, like Wuhan. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if we get really one tight set, or maybe we get one we get a more competitive match than like let's say the hardcore encounters so far. But yeah, I think most likely it's going to be 7-0.
Yeah, I kind of tend to think that Kenin had a much better shot at and Sabalenka on Zheng will. But of course, who knows? Maybe some sort of like fatigue element will also start kicking in at some point for Aryna. But yeah, right now she just finds a way. She is like a winning machine outside of the Middle East swing this season.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.